7 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This video is sponsored by Kush Online, your home for cute, comfortable, curvy wear. Kush takes the stress out of getting dressed. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that post notification bell so that you'll know every time we upload. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Kush Online. We take the stress out of plus-size queens worrying about what to wear.
Maybe we just love like that. Sometimes I don't want you around. You do something to make me smile, and it's hard for me to try to doubt.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. I know it's late. I do apologize for that. I was traveling earlier and when I got in, I was so tired. I just needed to rest. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about these two here, the Jacksons of Atlanta. So, like I said in the subject line, Mr. Jackson has some words for your girl. Also, Sunaway, the guy who worked for them and basically exposed them for not paying, he actually had a second video that he did. We're going to take a look at that as well. I'll definitely try not to keep you guys too long. I know, again, that it's late, and I do apologize for that. But I do thank you for all of you who took the time to come over and take part in the video tonight. If you will, please go ahead and hit the like button. And I'm going to pull up the video and get it ready for us. And while I do that, I'm going to put up... I'm not going to play that. I got to go and change one of my actual welcomes because of the music in it. I guess it was a, what's that called? Epidemic sound, and I don't have epidemic sound. What you say? What Mr. Pork Chop say? Hey, mama, I thought you had went to sleep a second ago. Child, honey, coming for you, girl. You know how that go. I don't know why he wanna just, I don't know. He just got it in for me. Anything that I say, I had somebody come to my comments the other day telling me that the word on the street, which I'm thinking, what street you talking about? But that, he was feeling a way about, I guess, his information being out there. But it's public record. No information that I put out was proprietary, so I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so he has an issue with what's saying. He is denying the legitimacy of some of the information put out there, but it's all public records. It's actually from governmental sources, so it's nothing put out here that someone made up or someone guessed or anything of that nature. So I don't know why even deny it. Honestly, the best thing that he did was to not comment early on the way that Mahogany did. So that would have probably been his best bet, to keep with that, you know, uh, strategy. Just hush and keep it like that. But he didn't. So here we are. Um, Like I said, let me go ahead and pop up the first video. I don't want to keep you guys too long because it is late. Um, the young man Sunaway has gotten a lot of questions and even some backlash about him going public about what happened. He A lot of people feel that, since he was in the home for a period of time, that he had a level of responsibility when it came to the kids. And I mean, maybe they're not wrong. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, people were very vocal about it. So he felt the need to come and kind of discuss some of that. So let's go ahead. First of all, let me welcome you guys. Planet Mimi, hey and welcome. Join it, hey and welcome. And Susie, welcome to the chat. Let me see if I have anybody else. I see a few people in the bushes. Welcome, bush watchers. Um, yeah, you saw it under public records. He just doesn't want people to know the truth. Well, I mean, I guess, especially if you're trying to give people the illusion that you're someone that you're not. Of course, you don't want your truth out there. But I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I really thought about that, Mimi. Could the divorce be fake? And the fact of the matter is, yes, it could, because although it was filed by an attorney, it was what I would consider a skeletal filing. It was 4 pieces of paper that only had their names on it, and it had the first names of the kids. Hey, Deanne, welcome to the chat. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Also, turn on those post notifications and be sure y'all hit that like button for me, please. But like you said, Mimi, it was a very thin file. She could have had that done just out of the pressure because she seems to be very she cares a lot about her appearance publicly. So she could have filed that paperwork just to maintain face. Now, the paperwork where she filed on him, that didn't come out till later. Someone actually told me about that, and then I went and confirmed it to be accurate. She filed a lawsuit against Justin because I guess when he left, he took $15,000 out of the account. Now, the exact amount they didn't say the exact amount, but it was 15,000 or less. So she filed a suit against him, but what she did is waited almost a couple of weeks before she actually had him served. And probably because she just wanted him to do right by her and just put the money back, or I guess they make a decision to split it or whatever. But I feel like he took that money and he went on about his business because he was concerned about him and his little raggedy skits. Quite frankly, I don't even understand what he is doing with these skits. I know that he tries to copy Country Wayne because he uses that hashtag all the time. But it's like, I know Country Wayne do skits, but he's already known. So I guess the fact that he's known makes it more interesting. I really don't get where Justin is going with that. And then he always looks so like a horn dog when he is in a scene with women. So I don't know what he's doing. Well, I don't think that there is any management. She's the CEO of the Jacksons of Atlanta. So the Jacksons of Atlanta is who actually owes most of the money. So he could just take the money and go on about his business because he was smart enough not to put his name on their corporation. Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of views. Um, so he's really gonna have to, I don't know, break out with something very jaw dropping and interesting to kind of turn that around. I know he's trying to get seen by some local people. Also, I heard that he has a casting coming up for new actors. But let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and jump into this first video. Like I said, I don't want to keep you guys too long. Um, he felt the need to kind of clarify a few more things because um, he had a lot of questions asked of him. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. Yeah, she is, Mimi. She's more likable and she could actually turn her situation around, you know. And I bet you she learned a very valuable lesson, honey. When you show your behind for a ninja, as they say here on the tube of you, I mean, it's just they'll make you regret it. I'm just gonna say it like that. Okay, let's get started.
What I did was made people aware of who to look out for in this industry, so that way it doesn't happen to them too. So if that is me tearing down another black person, then whatever, cool, I'll take that. As long as people don't get played like I simply because privacy things, some things that are just unnecessary and things I just don't care to answer. So I'm gonna get into that right now. The first and the most important one that I need to touch on is the one that everybody has asked, and I don't know how people still are confused about this. This was like the first thing that I mentioned in my video, in the first part of the video. So I don't understand how people are asking this question still, but you know, you guys are hearing it right now. If I have to like put a timestamp in the comments so that way you guys can see what I talk about this, I will. But I'm gonna answer this question for the 20th time, all right? The reason that I stayed so long working with them is because, one, I was a full-time employee, okay? I might have left out like that part because a lot of people were confused about, you know, the contract and everything. It's like, oh, why don't you take a deposit up front? That's not how full-time jobs work. I was a full-time employee. I got paid bi-weekly. So every other week, I was expecting a check. Again, this is why I was like, okay, I'm going to get this last check and then I'm out. So, like I said in the first video, I already planned to leave. I already was looking for other jobs and stuff. And it was just taking a long time to get these interviews and stuff because, you know, in this market, I'm a videographer. I do editing, I do video work, all kinds of production. I'm in the industry. I've been in the industry for over 9 years now. So I do a lot of video work and I wanted a video job. I'm not going to take, you know, like, no offense, I'm not going to do a McDonald's job. I'm not going to do any kind of fast food because I have a bachelor's and I spend a lot of time getting my bachelor's. So I wanted to do something that I actually want to do and not something to just, you know, settle on. And at the time, I had this full-time job with the Jacksons of Atlanta. So I was still doing what I wanted to do. I was able to, you know, try and look for other jobs and stuff and just, you know, try and look for more things. But, you know, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Basically, the reason why I stayed so long, again, is because I was a full-time employee. I was still getting paid. I needed to get my last paycheck. And then once I got my last paycheck, I was going to leave. It was the next week that I was going to be working there. So whenever I didn't get the paycheck, I was like, okay, I was already planning on leaving. So since you guys only paid half, I'm just going to leave because now you're trying to ask me to work for free. And the other part of that was, you know, during this time, whenever I realized like, hey, this place isn't how it like was told to me. They lied about a lot of things. There were a lot of shady things going on. So in that process, I was like, okay, you know, while I'm here, I'm still looking for the work. I might as well try and get as much stuff as I can because I am 100% going to take them to court. Okay, that was.
So one of the things about it that I thought was interesting, now they hired him to be a full-time employee, but they didn't even invest enough in themselves that they would buy a hard drive. He actually had to store all of the data that he recorded on his own personal hard drive and the software that he used to edit. Like they didn't have anything. And for people who have been doing this a while, going from one employee or one videographer to the next, you would at least think they have a place to keep their data, but they didn't.
Going to happen regardless because the way that they were doing things, the work hours, stuff like that. And so I decided to, you know, document some things, take pictures, videos, keep a whole bunch of records. Same thing with the footage. The footage part kind of came as a bonus because again, they didn't want to buy another hard drive. So I just happened to have their footage because they didn't want to pay and then they didn't want to get in the hard drive. So I stayed so long to build that case. Same thing with the kids, you know, all the stuff that's going on with them. So I'm going to touch on this, and this is the only time I'm going to touch on the kids because people twist words, and apparently you can't acknowledge things that the public knows and then things that even they in their own videos have acknowledged, and it's the fact about, you know, Justin Jr. having autism. Everybody knows. Everyone knows that. That isn't talking bad about the kids. It's public information. They talk about it in just about every single video. So I acknowledged it. Everyone knows this about him. But anyways, so people ask this question, oh, why did you, not call anyone? Who said I didn't call anybody? Okay, I've done 2 calls. I've went to the place one time, okay?
He's referring to Child Protective Services. He's saying that he actually made 2 calls because of what he saw going on in the home and that he physically went there.
Whatever happens with that is on them. I can't control how fast they work or things like that. So you guys can stop emailing me. You guys can stop, commenting, oh, you're like just as bad as them because you didn't call. Where did I say I didn't call? Okay. Did I want my paycheck as well? Of course. Who wouldn't? Who's going to just work for free? So, people are like, oh, you shouldn't have done things like that. Oh, you're a snake for going in their house and doing this. But at the same time, if I never had of, made people aware of this or even contacted them, taken them to court and things like that, this would still happen to other people. So it's a lose-lose. I went with the best option, which was to document as much as I needed to protect myself, because if I went forward to try and take them to court and stuff, I need to have all the proof that I did. And luckily, I had enough to prove it to the judge and it went in my favor. And so the only person that I needed to prove anything to was them. So I did that, and here we are. So I hope that explains a bit more on why I stayed so long, because more people are asking that. They just keep asking. That's the main question everyone wants to know. So anyways, that's enough on that. That is why I stayed so long working with them. The other question that a lot of people have been asking me is, why did you endure so much treatment? Why did you drive over there while you were sick? And just like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. So guys, it's very easy to say the things that you would and wouldn't do. Obviously, I knew that it was wrong, but again, I was a full-time employee. So yes, I could have quit. I wouldn't have gotten paid. You guys see how I quit on the day of my paycheck and I only got half of that. If I had quit way before that, I wouldn't have gotten anything. I needed something to.
He's right about that, but I don't care what he say. I would not have went up there feeling bad to prove to this man I was sick. If you are that concerned, then you're gonna have to come to my house, bruh. I'm calling in. I will not be at work today. I do not feel well. Like, I've never heard of such, but I get that they're a small company, so things may not have been orthodox. But he literally made him come in so he could test the guy's temperature. No, ma'am.
Help me, go forward while I look for other jobs and stuff to hold me over so I can pay some bills. I needed something at that time. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And that is why a lot of people in that situation would have been way worse than me. Some of you guys probably would have tried to fight them. I'm not a violent person. So, I just endured that. I knew what I was doing. Again, this was all a part of, the whole plan the entire time. So a lot of you guys would have messed yourself up. And that is why I was the person who, some people say that God sent me over there to endure all this stuff and it's going to, award me later on in life.
I don't know about all
We'll
that.
see where that goes. I've been given some great opportunities ever since the video has come out, and I am grateful for that. Thank you everyone who has reached out, people who have called, people who have actually came to meet with me. I really do appreciate you guys. One thing I want to touch on too is a lot of people have said this. People are like, you seem very young. He was just eager for work and everything. No, guys, that wasn't the case. One, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. I'm 26 years old. Okay, I'm not that young. I'm not eager to work. Again, I've been in the industry for over 9 years. I know how the industry works. I've even had people say, oh, you putting this video up here is going to mess up your chances of you wanting to work in the film industry. I'm already in the industry, and a lot of producers, a lot of other people, directors, other editors, other cinematographers have all reached out to me, and we've all shared our experiences. This stuff happens a lot, way more than people think it does.
Especially in the Atlanta area. I mean, that's the fraud capital of the United States. Most people don't realize that. So I understand why people are asking him, why didn't he take a deposit or whatever, but they hired him as a employee, not as a person that is providing a service. So it makes sense.
And unfortunately, unfortunately, it just happens a lot. So to sit there and say, this is going to mess up my chances of being in the industry, you're clearly not in the industry. So yes, I'm 26 years old. This was a good way of me getting into a full-time, like full steady paid job, because most of my things I've been gig-based, and I've been doing that for a while. Besides the job before, when I started working with them, I was working with an RV company making their videos.
I see a lot of those because I've been looking at RVs lately. Another thing I wanted to mention here, this reminds me of when the situation happened with my Jazzy Life and me. Now, obviously, the dollar amount was much smaller, which really makes it a piss poor situation, but that's neither here nor there. A few people after the situation happened was like, why would you work with her? She's done something like this before. But I mean, a lot of times you don't know that. You don't know until you know. And so, sometimes you just fall into these situations by accident. And that's probably what happened to him. He had no way of knowing who these folks had worked with before.
actually still in contact with them. They're great people. We continue to talk about things, and one of my friends still works there as well. And like I said, my old boss is one of the people who helped me to build my case, and then telling me the things that I should do. And then if
I don't know what's going on. This thing is acting funny. Let's see.
I should go to court and things like that. So yeah, one of the questions that people are asking is, where was your mom during all of this? Now, guys, I'm an adult, okay? I don't need to include family into things like this because I handle things the best way that I could, the best way that I saw. And of course, if I ask, outsiders how I should do certain things, it's just going to get messy. Now, my mom isn't as calm as me, okay? If I had told my mom everything that was going on at the time, because clearly she saw this video and clearly we talked about things that happened. But if I had to talk to my mom, about some of the things as it was going on, she would have been over there and fought them. And then that would have been that. There would have been a completely different case. So, I had to be the one to go through everything and then just figure out the
Not to mention, he's grown. I mean, he's a 26-year-old adult. His mom can't fight all his battles. Let me see what y'all saying over here, because let's see. You think who lying, Mimi? That's true, Dan. All of his skits are about him getting up under some woman. Quite frankly, I feel like that he doesn't have the ability to um, get with women. He doesn't have the social skills and things of that nature. And I think he writes these skits so that he can kind of live out fantasies that he has instead of this just being something that is supposed to get him somewhere. I think it has both meanings. Yeah, but my understanding is that they owe so many people that I don't think they'll be able to pay all those folks. Hey, Brown Sweet, welcome to the chat. He probably was, Susie. But the guy was, because Justin was very insistent that he come in. But I mean, the way he said he felt, he would have had to come to my house. I mean, it makes no sense. What ended up happening is he forced him to come in. He tested him to see how he was feeling, and then made him work anyway. And he said he knew that he was going to. Um, yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do that, as especially how sick he said he was. Yeah, she probably is. She's got a book coming out. Her endeavors are definitely bigger than his. And she's the CEO of that company, which means that, he doesn't really have to do anything. He was smart in that aspect of not putting his John Hancock on the business. So she's the one kind of stuck holding the bag because she's the CEO of the company.
best approach for that. So that is why I didn't want to include too much of my family into what was going on.
I wonder, is it because I'm playing it so fast I'm having these issues? Because I never have
Oh, yeah, and I almost forgot about this one. Someone
connection.
did ask this, and I thought it was kind of funny, so I did want to comment on it. I am from the States, guys. This is where I was born. I was born in Hawaii. This accent that you guys are hearing is just the way that I talk. I'm very familiar of how things work here. So that comment I just felt was kind of funny. Like, oh, he doesn't understand how things work. He's clearly from somewhere else. The way that we do things here is we don't put up with that. No, it's just that you guys prefer to go the more violent route. And I'm not a violent person, and I'm more of a loving, caring, chill person. I'm very relaxed. If
But you know what? Going the violent route really would not have been the right thing to do anyway. So with that, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Hey, listen to Lucille. Hi, and welcome to the chat. It seems like I am having a few connection issues here because I just seen a whole bunch of messages just come in. Maybe I was playing it too fast and it's causing me some issues. So I just slowed the speed down. I was just trying to get through it as soon as possible because I don't want to keep you guys too long. Let's see what you said, Brown Sweet. Wow. Now I didn't see that part. He better than me. Like I said, he would have had to come to my house because if I'm telling him I don't feel well enough to drive, I'm not gonna put myself and other people on the road at risk. I just wouldn't have did it. But I am a different person and I'm older. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have anything really to do with your age or anything. It has to do with what you choose to do. And that's just not something I would have been okay with. Child. Mm-mm. I believe that, Susie. I believe it was strategy. He knew that he had warrants out there and he wanted to make sure to protect those assets from anything that he had going on in his past. So he didn't put his name on there. Justin was playing the long game and he probably didn't mean to set her up, but nonetheless he did.
any of you guys know me in real life, you guys know that. So yes, I'm from here. I'm from Oahu, Hawaii, and yeah, someone else had asked this question, and I'm not sure if I touched on this. I believe I touched on it, but this might clear this up. Someone had asked, if you guys came up with a payment plan, why did you take her to court?
I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. I'm hoping that the issue that I'm having is just the video instead of my internet as a whole.
Guys,
So let's go ahead
I quit
and
in December.
pause
Okay,
it.
I quit back in December.
He was saying that basically this part right here, he was saying that he made a payment arrangement with her. She hadn't made any payments when they went to court. She said that she couldn't make any payments. So after he put the video out, she tried to reach out to him to make a payment arrangement of $360 a month, but it would have took her almost a year to pay him back. And then the fact of the matter is, he said, well, if you make a payment to show good faith, then I'll work with you. But she didn't even do that. So basically, that's where that came from. Another thing that he mentioned that I thought was notable was the fact of calling DCS. He did not call, and he didn't call because no, he did call. He made 2 calls and he made a physical appearance down there. So I think that everything, as a guy who was concerned about the welfare of the kids and also just being in the environment as a whole, I think that everybody uh basically, I mean, everything he could do, he did. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over to this other video, the one that has Justin in it. Let me make sure. Let me look at my connection real quick.